Hello and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Cheri and today is Sunday, or what I like to call slow cooker Sunday. So today we're going to be making a creamy tomato soup with Italian sausage and fresh tortellini. But before I get started, if this is your first time here, you love food and fun, hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell and check the description below. You will find details on how subscribing helps to feed the hungry. All right, so I have been making this recipe for probably nearly 25, 30 years, I guess. When I was in my I might not even have been in my 20s yet. I might have been right at 20. Anyway, I found this cookbook and it looked just like a coloring book. I mean, you would have thought it was a coloring book, same type pages and everything. All, you know, like the black and white print or whatever the color that is, not really black and white. Anyways, I found this recipe and I just fell in love with it. It was so easy. It was perfect for me. I didn't have a lot of experience in the kitchen. It was really easy to remember. I've switched it up just a little bit since then. And that's another great thing about this recipe. It's so customizable. You know, we're going to put some Italian sausage in here. And if you don't have Italian sausage, you can use regular sausage and add Italian, seasonings. You can just use the regular sausage. You can use hamburger meat. You can do this however you want. You can even use the links and chop it up. You can leave it out if you wanted to make this more of like a vegetarian soup. So the other recipe that I do remember in there was so good was a no-bake pumpkin cheesecake. So we're going to have to do that soon too, because I said up until Thanksgiving that I would be doing a lot of things that you could make on Thanksgiving. And you could make this on Thanksgiving if you had, wanted to set something aside for people to eat. If you weren't going to eat till like maybe later in the day, you could have this, ready to go for anybody that was hungry. But I like to make this like on a day maybe after Thanksgiving. If you're like me on Thanksgiving, I've been in the kitchen. By the time Thanksgiving rolls around, I've been in the kitchen for about 2 days straight. And so the days after, by the time I get everything cleaned up, I really don't want to step in the kitchen. It's horrible to say. But after spending day after day in there for 2 or 3 days, I kind of need a break. So this is something you can make like that Sunday afternoon or whatever, and it's just really kind of minimal effort. So I'm going to start with 1 pound of Italian sausage that I'm going to put in my slow cooker, and I'm also going to add in, I chopped up, I think there's about a half of a big onion that I'm going to add in here. And then, because this comes out of the base, I'm going to go ahead and brown this in the microwave, and then I'll put this back in the base, in the slow cooker base. So if you're not able to take out the insert of your crock pot, you can just start this off in a skillet and then you can just add it to the crock pot later. All right, so I'm gonna put this in the microwave. This usually takes about about 10 minutes if you're gonna do it in something like this. All right, let's see what we have in here. It smells so good. I love to try to keep, Italian sausage on hand, at least in the freezer, because it has so much flavor in it. It's just one of those things, if I have it on hand, I can just throw it together with a couple other ingredients and make a really quick meal. All right, so to this, I'm going to add 2 cans of tomato soup. So these are 10-ounce cans, I believe. So 2 of these. No one is going to know that you used canned soup. I promise. This is really, really good. All right, so there's 1 can. Let's get the second can in here. And then we have our seasonings. So I have a half a teaspoon of thyme, a full teaspoon of, let me think, what is this? Basil. A teaspoon of garlic powder and a teaspoon of onion powder. And then I'm going to throw in a cup of chicken stock. So I have some homemade stock here that I'm using. You can use the store-bought. You can use vegetable if you want. You can probably even use beef. Just kind of giving this a little bit of a stir here. And then I've got 2 cups of milk. And then I'm also going to stir in 2 cups of half and half. And that is it for now. So I'm going to replace the lid on my slow cooker. And then I'm just going to let this cook on low for about maybe 2 to 3 hours. Okay, our soup should be finished, but one thing I forgot to mention is this little guy right here. This is a mix and chop. So this is wonderful, wonderful if you have ground beef or sausage, whatever kind of meat that you're trying to grind up and, brown in a pan or in a pot. Anyway, it works wonders. So I will put a link to this in the description below. Other than that, our soup should be done. We just need to add some tortellini. So another great thing about this recipe is you can use frozen tortellini, dried tortellini. Did I say frozen? Frozen, fresh, or dried. I think those are the 3 kinds. I don't know if there's more. So I have some cheese tortellini here. This is a 20-ounce package and really only need about half of this. So the fresh stuff only takes like 2 minutes to cook. So you can imagine just throwing it in here, it might take about 10-15 minutes. If you're going to use dried tortellini, it's going to take a lot longer. And the same with frozen. So it just depends, you just kind of got to guess at it, I guess. I guess you got to guess at it. Anyway, this is the stuff that I always use, and I know it only takes about 10-15 minutes. So I'm going to toss about half of this package in here. And you can get the kind with spinach. This is just cheese tortellini. You could do like meat tortellini, whatever you like. So I'm just going to put the lid back on here, and we will let this sit for, like I said, about 10-15 minutes until it's nice and ready to eat. I was going to say tender, but ready to eat. All right, I think our soup is ready to eat. Look at that. It smells so good. I'm going to stir it just to get some of those herbs and seasonings kind of stirred in a little better. Scoop some in my bowl, and we will give this a try. This is always so good. I have not had this in a year. This is like the first soup, besides chili. I usually make chili kind of all year round though. But this is usually the first soup in the fall that I make. So, you know what it needs though is a little bit of Parmesan cheese. And you know, sometimes what I really like to add is fresh shredded Parmesan instead of this kind of stuff. But this will do in a pinch. I think I put probably too much in there, but that's okay. If something doesn't taste good, just add some cheese to it. That's what I always do. And sometimes when I have the shredded stuff, I will add, you know, maybe a half a cup or so to the soup itself. This should be better now. I love the texture of the tortellini in there. So good. So, I think that's it. Seems like there was something else I was going to tell you guys, but I don't know. So I guess we're done here. I guess I'm done for the day. I could have swore there was something else. I guess if I remember, I can just put it in the description. So, anyway, give this soup a try. It is so, so good, and no one's ever going to know that you put canned soup in here. It is so good. So give it a try. Let me know what you think in the comments. I thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.